Hey, amazing ChetChatters. Tell me, do you arrive in, arrive on, or arrive at some place? Did this get you thinking? Then today we're going to talk about a highly requested for topic, prepositions, especially at, on, and in. And I'm going to give you lots of examples. I'll give you tables that you can take as screenshots. So let's get going. Hey, this is Chetna and you're on ChetChat. It's a Friday today, and this content is also, by the way, available as a podcast, Skill Up with ChetChat on Spotify. In, on, at. Let's take them up one by one. Now look at this picture. Can you spot the cat? Where would you say the cat is? She's inside a big room, right? In is a preposition that comes from being inside something big. So if you're talking about someone or something being right in the middle of or being inside something, either in a large place, maybe in a broader location, maybe in between a large general period of time, we would use in. Example, the cat is in the room, inside an enclosed space. My birthday is in September, inside a broad time period of 30 days of September. We live in the United States. It's a broad place. It's not a specific place, but somewhere inside that large country. Now, take a look at some of these sentences. They live in the mountains. Mountains are a large, broad place. The milk is in the fridge. Now, imagine a carton of milk being inside the fridge in exactly the same way that the cat was inside the room. The clothes are in the wardrobe. They are inside this large kind of space of the wardrobe. This is the coldest place in the world. She is in the taxi. Literally, she crouched and stepped inside the taxi and is now sitting within it, inside the taxi. Now, this is very interesting when we talk about modes of transport. By the way, if you need to crouch and bend and get inside a vehicle, we say you're in it. Example, you're in a car, in a truck. Now, even though you'll say a truck is very large, but when you get inside the truck, you need to bend and crouch to get inside the front seat. So we are in a truck. Now, these sentences that we looked at were all talking about being in a large place or a broader location. What about time periods? He's coming to India in July, inside the month. The kids love playing outside in summer, in that long duration of time called summer. They moved to London in 2005, somewhere within that year. The printing press was invented in the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages are a long period of time, and somewhere in the middle of the Middle Ages, the printing press was invented. I will retire in the future, within a long period of time called the future. She will be back in a few days. Within the next few days, somewhere inside that time period, she's going to come back. He is going to call back in 5 minutes. Now you may say, how is 5 minutes a long period of time? So the idea is that something is going to happen within that period of time, not now, not after 5 minutes, but between now and 5 minutes, inside the time period of 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes. He likes to sleep in the afternoon. In is also used for the broad periods of the day like morning, evening, night, afternoon. So here's a table on your screen and you can take a screenshot of it. This has all the instances where we use in. Before we move to on, I want to give a quick shout out to Shraddha for leaving this amazing message under my last video. And I want to give you a shout out too. So for that, you need to drop a comment below and you need to like this video and make sure you include the hashtag ChetChatters. Now take a look at this picture and tell me, where is the cat? The cat is on top of a bike. Well, yes. On is a preposition that can be imagined as being on top of something. That's how I picture it in my mind. In my mind. Means the picture is inside of a large brain. Okay, small brain, whatever. Okay. On is used for a surface or for days. The book is on the table, on top of the surface. We have a meeting on Monday. On is used for days of the week. Our anniversary is on June 5th. On is also used for a specific day. I love watching the fireworks on Independence Day. He gave her a present on her birthday. On MG Road. On is used when you're talking about a place that is a little more specific than a big room. Imagine that place to be a surface, like a road, a street, on the 6th floor. Let's look at modes of transportation. The cat is on the bike. The boy is on the skateboard. Now remember, we were in a taxi, but we are on top of a skateboard. So we say on a bike, on a skateboard. On a plane, on the train, on a bus. Notice that we are actually not on top of the bus. But the rule here is that if you can walk into a mode of transport standing, then we say we are on it. Remember that we were going into a car and a truck and we were crouching? But when we are going into a plane, a train or a bus, we are walking in it. So we are on it. And one more fun fact. When we get into something, we need to come out of it. Like we come out of a car or a truck. But when we walked into something, we got on the bus, on the train or on the plane, we get off it as well. He got off the plane. Easy to remember, isn't it? So here's one more table for you, and you can take a screenshot of all the instances where you're going to use on. Now, at is used for very narrow and small things, very specific things. When you're talking about specific places, very specific places and specific times. For example, you're talking about the name of a restaurant. So you're at Starbucks, you're at McDonald's and so on. And if you're giving a specific address, at 90 MG Road. So you have the number, not only the street, not only the city, but the specific number of the building on the street, at 90 MG Road, at the airport, at the library. We use at when you're talking about a place for a specific activity. I'm at work. She's working at home today. The children are at school. See you at the train station. They're at the supermarket. I met him at the party. We also use at for addresses or exact position. I live at 15 Craig Street. She's sitting at a desk. He's waiting at the entrance. Please sit at the back of the room. Now, there are two pictures in front of you, and you have to tell me what is the difference between these two images. In the first case, the cat is actually on the chair, but since the cat is sitting for a meal, we would say the cat is at the table. That's the address. In the second picture, the cat is on top of the table, like on the table. Now, this is a very common mistake. Be careful. When you're sitting to have dinner, don't say we're on the table, because you're actually not on it, you're on a chair. Instead, say we're at the dining table. And if you're working, you can say I'm at my desk. At is also used for specific time. See you at 5 p.m. The flight is at 12:30. I'll be asleep at midnight. She's busy at the moment. At this very precise moment, at this specific point of time. The view is gorgeous at sunset. So once again, there's a table on your screen which you can take a screenshot of all the instances where we use the word at. Now look at these as a triangle. In is for the largest things, like inside something large. On is for the surface, like being on top of something. And at is for the smallest, most specific things. Notice the difference now between these two sentences. He woke me up in the middle of the night. He was fast asleep at night. In the first one, we are talking to the time in the middle of some larger time duration. I don't know, there was a whole night and he woke me up in the middle of the night. In the second one, you're referring to the entire stretch of night as one time, one specific time, at night. Now these differences are subtle, so don't stress about them. As long as you understand the big picture, slowly when you read more, you listen more, you talk more to native speakers, you will start getting the subtle differences as well. So happy learning and see you next Friday.